Jonas
and Vanessa.
Today we will read a poem by Sherman Alexie.
The poem we chose is called How to Create an Agnostic.
You may begin.
Singing with my son, I clapped my hands just as lightning struck.
It was dumb luck, but my son thought I'd created the electricity.
He asked, Dad, how'd you do that? Before I could answer, thunder shook the house
And set off neighborhood car alarms. Dad, he said, can you burn down that tree outside my window?
The one that looks like a giant owl? Oh, my little disciple, my one-boy choir, I can't do that.
Because your father, your half-assed Messiah, is afraid of fire. Now we will elaborate about the figurative language in this poem.
In the second line, Alexie says, I clap my hands, and clap is obviously an onomatopoeia, and onomatopoeia is when there's words that can make a sound, for example, like clap, because when you clap your hands, it makes a sound.
On the 13th line, there's another piece of figurative language. The line is, the one that looks like a giant owl. This is what the son says to his father, and this is obviously simile, as he used the word like.
On the 13th line, there's also personification, because Alexie describes the tree as a giant owl.
So, Vanessa, on the second last line, I have realized a word which stood out to me. The father says to his son, you're half-assed Messiah, and Messiah refers to a savior in the Torah, the Jewish Bible.
Yes, Jonas, I must agree with you, and I think that the half-assed Messiah means that he has a great wide range of vocabulary, and it just gives the poem a deeper meaning. As well as on line 14, he says, oh, my little disciple, and disciple is another word for a student or a younger apprentice. And this also just states what I just said, that it gives the poem a deeper meaning. Although our poem doesn't have a lot of figurative language, Sherman Alexie implicates a lot of imagery into her poem, which really helps.
I'd have to agree with that, and just by reading the poem, you can make this mental image in your head. For example, when he says, I clapped my hands just as lightning struck, you really can see how there's a father with his son, and as soon as he claps, there's lightning outside, and you can imagine a shocked child because it's just dumb luck, as it says on the next line.
Yes, Jonas, I must agree with you, and I also see a really visual image in my head. And on line 8, there's another bit of imagery, and he says, before I could answer, thunder shook the house and set off the neighborhood car alarms. I can really see a visual image in my head how the thunder shakes the house, and as if there was an earthquake, and the car alarms outside of the house are all going crazy.
And definitely the sound that these cars would make, it really just makes you see it in your head. This continues just the next line as well, when he says, can you burn down that tree outside my house? Because you see these two men, a child and his father, they're sitting together enjoying an evening, and then they look outside the window, and there's this tree which is scaring the son, and he really wants the dad to do something about it, because the dad is his idol, the one he looks up to.
Jonas, have you realized how much dialogue we have in our poem?
Definitely I have. I mean, the dad and the son, they have these continuous conversations, especially about how the dad tells him he's just not what his son expects of him. He cannot live up to his reputation. And here we can probably see that the dad is probably in a disappointed state, and the dialogue also definitely helps the imagery. That would conclude our discussion, I believe, Mrs. Milstadt.
Yes, it does, Mr. Michele.
Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.